we are here with some exciting news.
Super exciting news.
Yes, I actually proposed not too long ago, a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a fiance. I'm engaged. I'm engaged.
Yeah.
It feels so weird because like I was talking to someone today earlier at the gym, and I'm like, oh, me and my girlfriend, you were talking about. I'm like, my fiance.
Yeah. True. Now it's like just because we talked about it off camera. Like, how does it feel? Like, is there a difference?
I didn't want to run the risk of someone slipping, which
Yeah.
someone almost did. Starting to, spin the wheels a little bit.
Yeah.
He fucking calls, because the proposal, I guess, was like at 7, I wanted the sunset thing.
Yeah.
Calls like at fucking 5 o'clock, and he goes, hey, congratulations. At that moment, I was like, I'm like, this guy, she goes, oh, he never calls me, how random. And I'm like, this fucking what happened?
What's up, everybody?
Welcome back. We are here with some exciting news.
Super exciting news. You just got engaged.
Yes, I actually proposed not too
Crazy.
long ago.
Literally. Yeah, just the other day.
A couple days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a fiance. I'm engaged.
Big step, big responsibility.
Huge shout out to you for
Yeah.
helping me kind of set everything up.
Bigger shout out to my lovely girlfriend. She's she was the star of the show, man. She made it happen.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. She did. a
Yeah,
great
so
job.
she's the real MVP.
I'm the yeah. I'm the MVP too, but we both are. But she
Co
did.
MVP.
Yeah. It was an amazing thing. Thank you for having us. It was very special, and we're glad we could play a role in that special moment for you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm engaged.
Yeah.
It feels so weird because like I was talking to someone today earlier at the gym, and I'm like, oh, me and my girlfriend, you were talking about. I'm like, my fiance.
Yeah. True. Now
So-
it's like just because we talked about it off camera.
A
Like,
little
how does it feel? Like, is there a difference? Does it change things, or should it change things?
That's yes, a good question. I don't think it's supposed to change things,
Yeah.
and I think maybe most men, I don't think they're as traditional as women when it comes to like how marriage, engagement, the party, children, the house.
Yeah.
Like it seems like that's like the woman's dream. For men, I mean, not that men don't feel the same way, but for me, like I was very happy with her, and I don't think like if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing. However, I do understand the progression, the natural progression of relationships and the next steps in life.
Yeah.
So I think that for her being extremely traditional, what she wants to me, not really caring about that. Like I'm just happy that I'm with her.
Yeah.
So for me, nothing's really changed. I still love her the same. Yeah, like it just life for me just goes on with the person that I love and that I want to continue being with. I'm sure for her, it's a bigger deal. Her whole family hypes it up. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I guess now their relationship is progressing in the direction that I wanted to. But for the most part, I mean, I don't think it should change. I think you
Yeah.
should love each other equally no matter what. And the ring shouldn't make you love each other more.
Right.
I think that's just naturally how healthy relationships should go.
Yeah.
But obviously the ring, has its little moment and engagement. I guess it's like a stepping stone
For
into
sure.
the next stages of life.
Next
so I guess
chapter.
it's always something. It's nice to celebrate that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Absolutely. And take a moment for the relationship that the two of you guys have.
Absolutely.
Do you you asked her parents before, like the formalities of it, like, hey, this is happening, right? I mean,
Yeah. So what I'm learning is that women really want everything as traditional as possible when it comes to that. So you might be thinking, for anyone who's probably thinking of proposing, like,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm not even that close to her parents, or like maybe you are. You're like, oh, but they would be cool anyways. Like I don't feel like I need to ask them. Ask anyways. If anything, that should make it easier for you to ask. Since you have a healthy relationship, and if you don't, with even more reason, I think you should be like, hey, you look like this is kind of the direction that I see myself with her. Like, I want to know what you guys think about us. But for me, yes. So she wanted me to do so, and I found some time. I had to kind of like, I was there like hiding because like she has my location,
Yeah.
right? So since she has my location, I can't really like go anywhere because she always checks. Like, for example, like if I leave work a little bit late, she'll be like, hey, like, when are you leaving? Like, did you finish already? Like, are you on the way?
Yeah.
But since he had my location, she'd be like, oh, okay, I see he's on the way already.
Yeah.
So I had to hide it. I told them, like, hey, since we've been kind of looking at rings already, obviously we're in the direction that this may happen soon. It might be later, but we're obviously talking about it.
Yeah.
So it will happen. So what I care about is having some sort of element of surprise. I don't want you knowing when I speak to your family. If you see my location and like I'm not coming back in time, you're gonna be like, dude, he was supposed to finish at this time. Where is he? And then she catches me there. It's like, you know, so I had that hidden for a bit just so I can kind of go and pick up the ring as well without her knowing.
Yeah.
Going and speak to her family and her parents without her knowing. And then all the way leading up to kind of setting everything up, which fortunately I had you to help me out. Because if not, like, say I would have gone to set it up, she would have been like, why is this guy in the middle of here, like, super close? Why isn't he here? You know? So there was a little bit of that, but yeah, that was a formality. I spoke to them. I got their blessing, and they were super excited to the point that they even wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Which I kind of wanted to ask you what you thought. Like, what would you think about that? Because I get, in this case, like, she's the only daughter of the, you know, of her parents. They have two sons. She's the only daughter, the youngest daughter. The two brothers are already, you know, married, have children. So their only daughter, the youngest, now is getting engaged, next steps of her life. And for her, she's like, can we be there? And I'm like, listen, like, I already have the photographer that I have to worry about, you know, setting it up. I have my friend who he's setting everything up for me, so I have to make sure he's also hiding. The last thing I want is for two random people with binoculars, you know, looking at us from the pool deck and her turning around and being like, they look like my parents, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, it's a big risk. And not only that, I think it's also a moment that we should be sharing together. Like, it's about us. Yeah. So what would you think? Because you haven't, I guess, you know, we've been talking about it. I'm sure eventually you will. Have you thought of, like, what if your parents were to be like, oh, you know, I want to be a part of it too? Or her friends, right? Because Claudia has a lot of friends.
She does, and her family too. So I can definitely resonate with that a little bit. I think you're head on because it is a moment for you for you and for her. It's your proposal, right? You're proposing to her, but it's also yours. And so, kind of the thing, like, too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Like, you have all these people there, sure. and that could, then you got to worry about them being spotted, them being cautious. What if she sees the car? What if she sees? It's just more variables that there's so much stress, so many things. You're so nervous. Do I really want to add this to it? On the other hand, I can see how she would want maybe, her parents to be there and at least see it. But then it's like, is it just her parents? Then if the parents go, do the brothers want to go? And if the brother, like, so it's like, where do you draw the line? Okay. And then if the family, then is it the friends too? So I get the sentiment of having parents there, but me having been there, I think it was perfect the way it was.
Right.
I think too many people would have been at some point almost obvious. I don't think it was a setup where more people could have. I guess they could have been on another spot, but I think it would have been. Then they would have come early to see how the setup is. Then they chime in. Maybe you should put it up there. I didn't need that shit either because that was stressful for us.
Think about. Yeah, how was it for you?
It was because we wanted it to be perfect.
Well, like, show this is what it looked like. Yeah, everybody.
We wanted it to be
too crazy, but you know, it's thoughtful, elegant, simple.
I liked. I think exactly.
It was cute.
It was cute.
Even the photographer was giving you kudos. They're like, yo, like, not for nothing. Like, this is nicer than some of the other companies that I've seen get hired to set up. So.
Right. So I appreciate that. Well, we wanted it to be also like you. Obviously, you gave us a lot of inspo. You helped us out. You showed us certain things that you want, some things that you don't want. So obviously, we got the blueprint from you. But at the same time, it's like we weren't gonna fucking have a plane fly with the will you marry me or some shit like that because that's not you. But so we also wanted it to be Chris, and match also Christina's vibe. So I thought it was great that we would try to get closer to the water, but there were still so many people because for people who may not know, it was on the beach, but it was also where you live, right? So South Beach area. There's a lot going on. Summer, people out of school.
It's a summer. Yeah. And that's that. It wasn't even like on a weekend. Like I did it on a Thursday, which is close to the weekend. But regardless, I think still because it's summer and it's the beach, even if people are traveling or maybe they just live there.
Yeah.
Even at that time, like they can also leave and just go to the beach really quick to catch the sunset. So yeah, you guys did a good job trying to find, I guess, a decent spot within the vicinity. Because for me, I was big on, I want this to be a surprise. Like, that was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not doing it, like, on a trip. Like, she was like, oh, I want to do it on Lake Como, like, in Italy. And I'm like, no, not going to happen. So, we're planning on leaving the beach, within the year or so. So it's like that, like the beach is kind of like what created our relationship and what encompasses everything that we've gone through and how we've built together and grown together. So because we're going to leave, I'm like, man, I would love to capture like this moment right where kind of it all started in a sense, like how we really started it seriously this time. So yeah, like I had to keep the element of surprise. So that was the whole thing, like making sure that you were there and you had set up everything. And then how do I get her onto the sand? Because she wanted to go out to dinner.
Yeah.
So obviously I need to make sure that her nails are done. She looks pretty. Her hairs are done. Her makeup is done. But then if she's that nice, she's not going to walk onto the sand. So like, how do I even inch her over there? So like, I'm thinking about all these things. The last thing I would probably want to deal with is her parents or her family members.
That's literally what I was thinking.
Like, I'm like,
all these things, and then you got to worry about where should the parents park? Or where could they go? Am I out of sight? Then I would have to coordinate with them to see where the location is. No. I'm sorry, I love you, but 100 million things going on. I don't want to add another few things. Like, so I think the setup was perfect. I loved it. And then we set it up, and there was people in the background. So I went up to them and like, "Hey, I'm sorry, do you mind moving?" Yeah. And then people kept on walking, taking pictures of it. We're like, "Yo, get the fuck out of there!" And we hid inside. We hid him in plain sight, like right behind some certain things, so we can hide out of the way.
Yeah.
But man, it was great. It was a beautiful moment. I was nervous for you, and I was like, oh, I hope everything was perfect because we did it. Like at the end of the day, I come with a lot of responsibility.
Okay.
I felt a lot of pressure. I was like, oh, shit.
Really?
Claudia was super nervous too. We were like, Christina, because Christina says she's not. She's simple. She's easy, but she's not. And Claudia was like, yo, Christina's a little bit picky, and I'm like, yes, she is. So we wanted to make sure like the colors are right and the right bottle of champagne and this and that, So I think it was fabulous. Very happy for you guys.
Yeah, you guys totally outdid yourselves. Thank you so much.
I'm excited to see. I can't wait to see the pictures from the photographer.
It's funny. We have some sneak peeks. I'll see if I can send it over to you. But it's funny because after Christina was like, man, I kind of wish my parents would have gone to dinner with us, like, my family. Like, it's weird that, like, they even told me, like, oh, why didn't Marvin and Claudia go? And I'm like, you guys don't understand their role in all of this. They literally set up everything. It's like, if you guys didn't have, like, you didn't set it up or anything, it's like, there would be really no need. Not that we wouldn't want you there, but it's like, it would be about us, right? Yes. Like, there's really no need, like, hey, look, I just proposed. You want to come over and, But because I took you out of your day, like, you had gotten the day off. You and Claudia both put in the effort. And basically set up everything. It's almost like you were a part of the behind the scenes of everything. Like we were talking about how to set this up, how this was going to go down. You had such a big role, which to your point that you felt kind of nervous, pressured,
for sure.
Big responsibility. So at that point, it's almost like let's all get together after and really talk about how this all came to be. Yeah. Like, how did you guys feel about it? How like since when did we talk about it? When did we get the ring and things like that? Because we had been talking about it.
Yes.
If anything, you were the only person that was really giving the play-by-play of kind of the situation. So, yeah, I think it was amazing. And again, I thank you. I'm very floored and honored, really, to really have, such an amazing person, friend in you, as well as Claudia, really do that for me and help me get it done. So, yeah, of course I wanted you to be there at the dinner for us to talk about it and to celebrate together with. For sure. It's a big job for you as well.
Yeah, for sure. And Claudia was like, dude, like, sure we should go to dinner? Like, tell them, like, they can just have their moment for themselves. So, which I asked her, you sure you want us to go? Like, because it's your moment. And then for another thing, like, what if maybe her family wanted to go to dinner or friends, whatever? At that point, it wouldn't have been as intimate as it was. I mean, I had a great time. It was really, really nice. And thank you for having us. But obviously, it was because we were there. Otherwise, we wouldn't have. We set it up. So.
No, but regardless, it was great, and I'm glad you were able to go as well. I think it was also fun. It was also able for her to kind of again just enjoy the moment with how you guys were kind of setting everything up and your side of it as well. And I also think it was nice for her to also connect with Claudia, and I'm sure Claudia's probably like, when's it my turn?
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about. We were like, man, I feel bad. I hope that now she's not like.
She's not like that. She's not like that. But to a certain degree, obviously, she's like, oh, she got proposed. Christina got proposed to. Like, when that's gonna happen to me? And I'm like, hey, listen, our time is different. Everybody has their own timeline. Everybody has their own path, and it'll happen eventually. Not right now, but I'll tell her, I promise, I'll make it happen.
It's also kind of silly because when we were kind of talking about the whole ring situation and us going to get it, whatever, Christina would then ask me often, like, are you planning on proposing to me before or after Marvin proposes? And I'm like, I'm not there. Like, it's not about them. You know what I mean? Like, I'll propose to you when I want to, right? Not because, I want to beat Marvin or would it be before? And at that point, I didn't even know because I don't even know when the fuck you're going to do it. I know we've talked about it, but, and obviously, you know, we had talked about how, you know, she needs to move in, but she wants the ring first. So it's like, clearly she's here without it. So it's like, you guys obviously are in that direction, but you need your own moment to make it special. And you want to plan it your way. So it's almost like for her to even question, like, oh, you gonna do it before or after? Like, dude, I don't know when he's gonna fucking do it. You know? Like, that shouldn't matter. Or like, oh, let me wait. Oh, he's gonna do it in fucking December. All right, I'll do it in November then. Or he's gonna, oh no, I'm gonna wait till after. So silly.
It's there's already so much pressure. Like you don't gotta add more to it. But one more point, what I wanted to ask you, because when did any of her friends know that this was happening? Because it's funny because Claudia we were talking on the night before with one of her girlfriends, and she was like, "Yo, do her girlfriends know?" Because apparently, to a woman, it's very important that not just her family, but also her very close friends are at least aware of it. Well, I didn't know that either. I didn't know it was like a thing. But did you tell anybody other than her family?
Her parents. No, I didn't, and I didn't really think I needed to. However, I think she did tell me about a story of one of her brothers. When they were getting the ring for their, I guess, wives now, they didn't go with their girlfriends at the time. Like, they didn't go with their significant other to go ring shopping. They went with the family. So that's how they knew. Like, they were helping him pick out the ring for her to surprise her, rather than going ring shopping with her directly to kind of see what she liked, you know? So I think at that point, it makes sense for the family to know, because it's like, hey, I want to do this. I need your help to make it happen, to set up the ring, and how would she even like it? I have no idea. Whereas for me, I went with her to kind of, you know, get his size, what she kind of liked, what shape she wanted. Did she really care, like, what size was the right one? So I didn't really think I needed to. And in fact, I didn't even tell anybody, because I didn't want, like, that morning, I had 3 people that I somewhat knew, which was like my family, you, somebody else that was like figuring out a shoot with her, like what day, and I was like, listen, it can't be this day because I'm probably gonna propose this day. So she's like, what the fuck, are you serious? So it was literally like maybe like 4 or 5 people that knew, and they all asked me that same morning, hey, are you nervous? So after the first 2 times, you're like, nah, I'm chilling. But after the 3rd or 4th, you're like, when you had asked me, and then I'm like, man, not really, but then I'm thinking about this, and then what about this, and then what if this happens? And then I'm like, yeah, I think I'm nervous. You know, it's like, yeah, imagine if more people knew, then they would just kind of make a big deal. And I didn't want to run the risk of someone slipping, which someone almost did. So I went, obviously, I asked for, you know, her parents' blessing, and her mother apparently tells her father, so Christina's grandfather, and I mean, he's old. You know, he's starting to, you know, spin the wheels a little bit. He fucking calls, because the proposal, I guess, was like at 7, you know, I wanted the sunset thing. Calls like at fucking 5 o'clock, and he goes, hey, congratulations.
To her?
He calls, and it's like, wait, why is my grandfather calling? And I'm like, at that moment, I was like, I'm like, this guy, she goes, oh, he never calls me, how random. And I'm like, this fucking would happen. She answers the phone, and he goes, hey, congratulations. And she's like, thank you, abuelo. Yeah, we're looking at the house, like, you know, like all these things, like it's finally going through. Hopefully everything goes well. And he's probably there like confused, because he's calling, I'm sure, about the proposal, thinking it already happened. So all he says is, okay, bye. And I was like, and
you realize, he's like, yo, fuck.
It's like, almost blew it. Because he could have been like, oh, congratulations on, you know, the matrimonio, like you guys, you know, proposing. But he's just like, hey, congrats. And she was like, I know, thank you so much. Oh, the house, yeah, I know, with the, you know, my parents, you know, and we've been looking. You know, it's the next step. We're excited to be in Springs. And he's like, okay, bye. And hung up. But at that moment, if he probably could have slipped up, and it's because I told her parents, and her parents started saying everything. So it's just, imagine, like, that was just one thing that I didn't want to fuck up. I was really betting on this being a secret, and seeing her surprise and getting that emotion, that raw emotion, making it feel really special. Because I think that buildup would have made it feel like such a bigger deal for her.
100%, which it was. She had like no idea.
She didn't have any idea until
that's the goal,
right? So and then they're like, "Oh, was he acting sketchy, whatever?" And I think I did a pretty good job. I was like playing it off, kind of being like, "All right, she's been dying to go to dinner." I'm like, "All right, fine, we'll go." I got the day off. Like you've been harassing me about going. Let's go to dinner. Dress up nice. So I'm there playing that role.
Yeah.
But the whole time it's like she has no idea she's about to get proposed to today. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah. So because Claudia was like, "Oh, like I want you to." Got to talk to my parents, with my sisters, and my friends. They need to know, and
Why?
it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like so. Then at this point, you're gonna have like fucking 8 people. I already know, and it's like it's gonna be the thing. Like, what if something goes wrong? What if the wrong text message or this and this? Which I was worried about too, because we were talking about certain things. What if? Because we have multiple chats with the girls and this and this. So I was like,
wrong chat.
yeah, exactly. So, when I do decide to do the whole process, I'll be sure to wait till literally the last moment, just in order to avoid any slip-ups. Which slip-ups, listen, everybody makes mistakes, but this is one moment where no one should make a mistake.
And so you're planning on talking to the whole family, including your friends?
No, so I'm planning on
Or you're like, fuck that, I'm not doing that.
The way I would do it is her sisters, and then her mom, her dad, obviously, and
period.
And I think her because she has a best friend. And I'll probably tell her, like, the day before or something like that. Or, like, the day of.
But does she want you to tell her, or does she want you to, like, have the same type of meeting that you're, like...
No, what the fuck? No, it's just, like, hey, like, heads up, da-da-da.
But why?
I don't know. But apparently that's a thing that a lot of girls care for. They would feel like, I wish I would have known. And to their point, I was talking to Range the other day, a boy. And he was like, man, I kind of wish I would have known. I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Because
he texted me.
Right.
He's like, oh, you didn't tell me.
Exactly. And he's a guy, so, and he's like, well, it's not a big deal, like, whatever. And it's not.
Told me that too, yeah.
But imagine as a woman, they probably feel different. So they're like, oh, I want to know, I want to be there, I want to plan things, I don't know.
I mean, to my defense, no one knew.
That's what I said.
Like, nobody knew, except the people, my parents, her parents, and you, because you were setting it up. That's the only reason why you knew, right?
Okay, can you plan a picnic and set it up and I don't know?
Yeah, super nice out there for what? Don't worry about it. I mean, like, this is sketchy. So it's like, I didn't tell anybody, and even like I haven't even talked to Gabe. Like, Gabe's like family. And I don't even know if he's written to me or not. He probably has no idea. He's wifed up too, over in fucking, wherever the fuck, Reno and shit. So it's like, no one knew. I just wanted it to be a moment that was special about, me and her.
Yes.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's important. I mean, at the end of the day, because it's funny, her mom was like super upset that she couldn't be there, apparently. She goes, I really wanted her to be there. Like, you're my only daughter, and like, you're super special. Like, I wanted to see. And then I'm like, even my mom, like, after I called her, and I'm like, hey, look what happened. She goes, yeah, I already found out. And I'm like, listen, bitch. First of all, just know that this is my moment with her. Like, I proposed to her, and you're upset that I didn't call you immediately to tell you that it was happening.
Oh, that you didn't tell her before.
Shouldn't you just be happy and be like, oh my God, like, it finally happened? Because I talked to her and I told them, like, hey, by the way, like, it's gonna happen. I guess I didn't tell them the exact day, but she goes, oh, I already found out. And the same thing with her mom. Her mom was like, oh, I can't believe you didn't call me as soon as it happened. She's like, I was taking pictures. Like, after that, like, we went to, went upstairs, then we went to dinner. Like, it would happen so fast. Like, you expected me to stop what I was doing to call you, and now you're kind of giving me shit about that. Like, this isn't even about you guys.
Yeah,
it's about us. If anything, we're calling you, whether you found out immediately or an hour after or a day after. You should still be like, oh my God, congratulations! I'm so happy for you. Not, oh, I'm so upset that I wasn't able to go. Fuck you, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're making a fair point.
So I want to ask you. So if you, let's say you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll talk to your friends, and you just don't. What's the worst that can happen? You pop the question. That's it.
She'll be ecstatic, and then be like, oh, you tell my friends. I would have to say no, and then she'll be like, oh fuck, but then she'll get over it.
Exactly. So who cares?
But this is a great opportunity for audience to chime in, especially for we have a lot of women that follow us. Let us know maybe how would you want to be not just proposed to, but also who would you want to be involved. And
does it matter?
Right, and hearing our struggle. Chris's struggle, my struggle, whatever. can you understand where we're coming from? Where it's like the more people know, the more chances you have of fucking things up and ruining the surprise and making things more complicated. Sometimes a small, tiny circle is really all you need. But I'm eager to see the comments from some of the ladies.
Yeah, because I think it's kind of easier said than done. Like you think of the idea and oh my God, all these people have to be, told about and set up. But it's like once you're at that moment where you have to actually ask the question, pop the question, there's so many other things that I'm worried about than, oh, did I make sure to tell her third cousin that, I never see or whatever? Like things like that. Or like her best friend that I guess is her best friend, but like, I don't know. So yeah, to Marvin's point, who needs to know when you're about to propose? Like if you're going to get proposed to, it obviously the parents, okay, ask for their blessing, but is there also like a list of people that are required? Do you need your friends to know, your uncles, your cousins? Where do you draw the line?
Yeah. I think let us know. I'm curious to see what they think.
But after this experience, where's your head at? How do you feel about kind of how everything unfolded? Because eventually you're gonna have to do the same thing.
Eventually,
you're gonna have that gun behind on your back, like.
Eventually, I will.
It's bear.
Yeah. Eventually, I will. I haven't thought about it too much, but it's gonna come. We have looked at rings. I'm not gonna lie. So I have an idea what she wants. I wanted to do it early enough to gather all the thoughts and see what I want. Of course,
build up to it too. You also want to give that element of surprise as well. You never know when it's gonna happen.
Exactly,
so.
You never know, and so hopefully it'll happen. Not hopefully, it will happen eventually. Just not this month or anytime.
No, but do you just feel like after me doing it, were you like, fuck, so this is what it's like? What do I got to do? What I got to think of?
It's hard because when I saw you like leading up to the moment and like you were nervous, I could tell. But I'm like, I don't know a little bit, but I can tell. I won't know. I'll probably be so much more nervous because I get nervous for fucking like that. So I'm like, I don't know. I'll be eager to see, and hopefully I can count on you to help me in a similar way or support me in somehow.
Sure. You think you'll cry?
Huh?
You think you'll cry? Christina and I were talking about it. Like, oh, do you think Mama's gonna cry? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't cry.
You think she'll cry?
She will cry for sure.
Christina said that she couldn't cry. She was too. She didn't believe it.
Yeah, it was like so real.
She's like, I don't know.
Dude,
she cried after.
We were like, I don't know, 30, 40 feet away, and we could hear like her like fucking screaming, shouting, super excited. So, and she was very happy. But no, I don't know if I would cry. I don't think so. But my head is in a good space. I'm putting all the ducks in a row, and eventually it will happen. It'll be our moment, and so
I'm sure it'll be just as special, if not more.
For sure, and we'll have a similar conversation when this happens.
And then we'll have a follow up on
how we feel. Yeah. And you're gonna give me some advice how
recently
it feels to be
engaged.
So what's next for you guys? Are you guys gonna stay engaged for a little bit? Have you thought about or are you just gonna relish the fact that okay, like we're here?
It's funny because like I went over to her parents' house yesterday and they brought us I guess they got us like a little care package, and it was like a bag that says bride on it, and in there were 2 champagne flutes because like we had pop bottles of champagne for us to drink together to celebrate, and one said Mr. and Mrs. and I'm like, literally the ring was put on her finger yesterday. Yeah. Like, can we just enjoy the fact that the ring is there? And then they're like, oh, I already started looking at venues. I wonder how much they're going to charge in this place. And then she's like, oh, my God, there's like this famous like bridal store that's in New York. Like, we should make like a girls trip out of it. And I'm like, you need to fucking chill. You need to fucking chill. And I was talking to someone today from the gym about it. He goes, wait, you want to have like something simple and her parents are saying that they want to go to New York to do this? Like, did I just hear that? Like, you think you're going to have a simple wedding and that's what they're saying? Okay, bro. Yeah. Like, that's what I thought. And I'm already spending like 60 grand on my shit. And that said, he's not even done. But I don't know. I would like to appreciate this, this moment. I don't like being rushed or being forced to do something that's just not us. Guys, like, okay, well, now we have to do this and here's the next step. Like, I get it. But it also has to make sense for, like, where we're at and, like, what we want to do and how we want to enjoy this moment and enjoy each other. Like, I feel like this is a special moment and a special, I guess, step in our relationship. And that should be kind of, should bask in it a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's important to slow down and kind of, like, take it all in instead of, like, oh, what's next? Oh, well, we're engaged. Now I got to do this. Now you got to do this. Then you got that. It's like, enjoy the moment. soak it all in.
Which I get. Like, I guess, you have to then eventually start planning the wedding and all these things.
Eventually.
But I told her, I'm like, look, I'm giving you this fucking ring because you wanted it last year. She had it on her New Year's resolution last year.
Okay.
Didn't get it. So she had it again for this past New Year's. Like, oh, I hope I get the ring this year. So it's almost like, you know what? Like, I get that, but that's not to say, like, now we have to rush and start doing the wedding. Like, I'm getting you the ring. I know you want the ring, and I want to prove, hey, like, I love you. Apparently, you need the ring for me to prove that to you. So I'll get you the fucking ring. But after that, like, I don't want to feel rushed or having to feel like we need to do the next steps. Like, let's enjoy us. Like, that's the whole reason why we're doing this. So how we started off this conversation, like, has anything changed? I don't think it should change. I think if you're in a healthy relationship and you're always trying to learn, grow, and, like, build together, a ring is not going to do that. A wedding ceremony is not going to do that. I guess there's certain meanings behind each, and maybe for some people it matters. But I think on a very, like, finite level, like, if you just, like, strip everything down to the bare bones, what's important is how you feel with one another, how happy you are with one another, and the experiences that you're creating with one another. And if a ring gets added into it in the ceremony, that's all gravy at the end of the day, but that shouldn't be these milestones to really drive the relationship forward. I mean, I understand it's the steps and whatever, but foundationally, are you guys even happy, or are you guys just doing everything because you feel like you have to?
Yeah.
Because if you do and you're not happy, what's the point of doing it all?
Right,
so I think that's the most important thing. And I'm happy. Like I said, I'm engaged. I have a fiance now. I'm a fiance as well. Crazy. But yeah, we'll see what the next steps come. But little by little, we're enjoying the moment.
Awesome. We're super happy for you guys. So
thank you. Good luck to you. Because this was like now that it's like all over, it's almost like now. Although tonight I have to do an event like with their families, a family party, whatever. So they're all gonna be hounding me, but that's part of it, I guess.
Nice. Comes with territory.
I guess.
Well, that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments what you guys think, especially about the topic of who do you want there, or who do you want to know about the proposal. Let us know.
And if you want, also let us know how your engagement experience went. Was it a disaster? Yeah. Did it all work out perfectly to plan?
Good
let
point.
Us know.
Yeah,
how did your engagement go?
See you guys.
Till next time.
Ciao.